So we're going to go through 6 steps. And these are simple. Lots of information is going to be coming in rock and roll to you in regards to what they are. I'm not going to read these out. We're going to go through each one of them. But the entire premise of all these steps is building trusted, meaningful relationships. Because when we have that, we are top of mind with our strategic alliances, with our power partners who recommend us, who connect us with other connectors. So it's a matter of really, I think, fine-tuning your networking plan. And that's where we're going to go. Okay, so let's just start with the setup. Okay, for those guests who are here, you don't really know a lot about the Grand Connection yet, but there is a lot happening here for you. And in the membership hub, we have a separate hub that each member can put a video in there. So those members that don't have your video in there yet, just go on YouTube, record a 2-minute video. Let people see you, feel you, and know what it is that you're purposeful and passionate about so they can recommend you. Okay, and within the profile, make sure you fill it all out so those connections can happen. Susan, I'm going to let you talk a little bit about the setup here because, you know, this is your baby, the Grand Connection membership hub, we call it. And so just share with people what they need to do.
Thank you, Carolyn. You know, it's the important thing is for people to know and to be able to learn what you do quickly and if they've met you somewhere else to be able to find your contact information. So our membership hub has a lot of questions that we ask about you and your business, including, you know, how to best connect with me, how to best refer me, ways to get in touch. It has all of your links in there. And to start off, make sure you got a great headshot. You need your picture in there. Get a really good picture and a nice little tagline, your headline. It's called a headline, what you do. I just know when I meet new people and I do one-on-ones with new members, we go through the membership hub and we just scroll through the directory, reading everybody's headlines and looking for people for them to connect with that would be a good collaboration partner. So make sure that those things are up to date. People are going to go in deeper. You can message each other too in there. So it's important. You'll get an email notification if somebody does message you, and then connect with the people that are in there. And, you know, those of you who are guests, the setup in networking is about being prepared when you go to networking events. Know what you're going to say in your short introduction. Have your information readily available to paste in the chat. This is all the things that you need to do as part of networking, that you're ready for that. Make sure your LinkedIn profile is up to date and that you're, you know, if you're giving out your website, make sure you're proud of that website and you want people to see it and it sells you and it reflects your brand. So all of these things are in the setup for when you're networking, you're out there. Networking is a form of marketing, one of the most important ones, and you need to be set up for success to do that. Back to you, Carolyn.
Here. And you know, this community is so powerful because we've had so many success stories of people coming together and collaborating for books, for summits, for podcasts. I mean, Dr. Barnsley, you've had so many people on your podcast from the Grand Connection members. So that is coming together to support each other with marketing, promotion, visibility, exposure together. So for me, it's a matter of setting up your profile that is authentic and really in a way that you will be remembered and meaningful. So so that's all I'm going to say about that. The other thing that I wanted to bring to your attention for Grand Connection members and the guests is we have a Grand Connection calendar subscription. So it's one link that you can drop into your calendar and all the events will be put in there automatically for you. Susan set this up. It's really easy. We have more than 10 events a month, yet you can choose which ones that you want to go to, but it'll automatically be in your calendar whether you choose to go to it or not, which is really, really helpful. And we also have the Grand Connection Referral app, which is really powerful in regards to introducing people together, as well as requesting introductions. And we have a training on that every month too for all the membership. So let's go to the framework now, Susan, the Grand One-to-One framework. And then we're going to have a breakout. So this is, I always say this, but it's true. This is my favorite part of the 6 steps, because this is what I believe will be the game changer for you in success in building those relationships. So a lot of people come together, for example, let's say Dr. Barnsley Brown wants to meet Kerr here. You don't know him, do you, Barnsley? I don't think. Kerr, do you know Dr. Barnsley Brown? No? Okay, perfect. So you want to be organized before you meet with Kerr. I know you are anyway, Dr. Barnsley, because you run networking this way, but you want to make sure that you're prepared to have a powerful meeting with Kerr. And I'm calling this the Grand One-to-One framework. It's a matter of being organized and efficient, prepared and planned before she even meets with him. Yeah. So you're going to do research on Kerr. You're actually going to kind of stalk him a little bit. You're going to go to his Facebook. You're going to go to his LinkedIn. You're going to go to his website. You're going to see who his connections are on LinkedIn. You know,
and the referral app, you can, if you guys are trusted referrals, if you've already connected on LinkedIn, you will see who he knows and who you may want to ask for an introduction in your call.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So you're going to be prepared and planned to unleash the potential of this one meeting. So you're going to have all the research done ahead of time. I suggest to take the time to do this. It doesn't take that long, but it's really going to increase your success factor. So it's being prepared and sets the stage for a powerful conversation. So I'm even going to suggest that what you do is you create some open-ended questions that you can ask her, Dr. Barnsley, and I know you do this, that is really meaningful to dive deeper into what matters most to Kerr within his business and with his clients. So you're taking that deep dive. Also, your focus is to connect. That's not pitch. You're not, I suggest to follow the 70-30 rule, which is listen 70% of the time and ask questions the other 30. I always take notes so I remember. So you can add those notes on you know, your CRM or anything after, but just to be really present and be in service to him. Because when we are a grand giver, that's when we have the opportunity of receiving so much. So I'm suggesting to be organized, prepared, connect, and learn about them. Have that intention. Be curious. Even if you know, be curious. And then ask them in an open-ended question, you know, what is most important to you in your business? And how can I help you? And they'll tell you. And when you have a great resource Rolodex network inside your mind and all these relationships that you've built over time and networking, you have great connections for them. It's exactly what Dr. Barnsley said earlier. I have great connections for people in the room. Is she a grand giver? Absolutely, 100%. So be of service first, and then watch what you will receive later. So it'll be a meaningful connection with Kerr. He will remember you because of that. We have to be remembered to be memorable. So I suggest to be the solution. Fill the gaps. support him in his success. And then the last piece on this, now when you do this, I guarantee you incredible success. I guarantee you with my life, I do. And those of you that manage your business this way know it works. So the last piece is have a defined next step for them and for you. So I'll commit to this. So Dr. Barnes goes, okay, I'll commit to introducing you to these two people. And what will your next steps be? Get them to commit to their next steps. And if they follow through, that you can trust them. Trust is the most important aspect in building this framework. And then the relationship can continue. And then Dr. Barnsley gets this incredible opportunity to be on some radio and invites you, or to be on her podcast. So I'm just telling you, the opportunities only come is when you follow through with what you say you're going to do, that you have integrity, and that you care. And that's the truth. So let's go into a breakout room with that. Thanks, Dr. Barnsley. I'm receiving the love. Okay, let's go into a breakout room next.
Welcome back.
Heidi, are you having fun? Oh, you're on mute, my dear. Are you enjoying it?
Yes, I am having fun. So glad to be here. Thank you.
Oh, our pleasure, our complete pleasure. So thank you for being here. Okay, so here we are again in the big room. Here we are.
In the big room.
So I am curious about one thing. Who in those breakout rooms stood out for you, and what was memorable? Somebody just needs to go on mute. I think it's Aldo. I gotcha. Okay. So I just would like a few people to share who stood out for you, and what was it that was memorable for you, and why. No, that's I
encourage you.
Do you know where that's coming from, Susan?
I'm trying to find him.
Third, while the chat is currently turned off here in Zoom,
I can't find that person.
I don't know.
Okay, who knows who it is? Tell me.
Yeah.
I think it's Raji.
You can question for
I
you
think
and
it's
I
Raji.
interacting in the session. And what I'd love to invite you to do,
I think it's Barbara Drady because she's green right now.
Okay,
Oh,
so
where you are
3 women in my room.
today.
Sorry, guys, but love it when 3 women come together.
Yes.
And we all had very different visions, but we really saw how we could come together and help each other. And that, to me, that's the bottom line. People tend to come in with affiliate dollars, and that's always nice. And I have a generous one. But if I can see some way that I can help another person, it ends up coming back to you one way or another. So pretty excited. So Marianne and Nell, thank you. You guys are great.
Oh, see, isn't this why you network? Hello. Is that good juju or what? Thank you, Barbara. That was fabulous.
Absolutely.
And we have to really show up to be curious to discover those grand connections, I think. So, thank you to you, Barbara, for being intentional and seeing that. I just think it's absolutely fabulous. And
one request, could you,
Yeah.
because we needed it in our room, could you go over the 5 steps again before we move on to the next room? Thanks.
Absolutely. And Denise, I see you. Nadine, I see you. And there's a couple other people that had your hand. Please raise your hand again. And if Susan would just for a moment bring up the grand 1, 2, 1 framework, that would be brilliant, just for people to take a screenshot of that. Now, for you techie people that know how to do that, can you take a screenshot of this and then drop it in the chat too? That would not be my responsibility at this moment, but if someone could do that for me, I would love it. Thank you so much. Okay, Denise, welcome. Good to see you again too, my dear.
Yeah, you bet. I land in a room with Radhavi, who I probably had a one-on-one with way back about 3 years ago. Wonderful, and reconnect and see her continued growth and passion. But what knocked my socks off is I have a colleague on the East Coast of Canada that introduced me to Marian Egan's work just a few weeks ago. And she's in my breakout room talking about it. And I'm going, you're you. We need to meet.
Well, there you go.
So fun.
There-
Thank you.
Oh, pleasure, pleasure, pleasure. That's serendipity in action for sure. I love it. Nadine, welcome, my dear.
Well, you said who's the most memorable, and in my room there was someone that does decluttering on Zoom, which I thought was absolutely incredible because I always thought it would be somebody that would have to come into your home. So I thought that was kind of interesting. So Kitty Andrews is doing that. So that's kind of, I just wanted to give her a shout out. Thanks.
Aw, that's absolutely wonderful. See, Kitty, don't you feel good? Yes, you do. Here, just come on for a second, Kitty. How did that feel receiving that?
Oh, fantastic. Thank you very much.
Yeah, and we're super happy you're here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Glad to be here.
Good, good, good. Raja, welcome. Are you in a mall or something?
Hello. No, it's a backdrop. This is my business. This is which I
Okay,
launched
great.
5 years ago.
It just looked like, in a mall when it's got the signs. I just was curious.
Mhm.
Go
I
ahead.
know. Thank you. So a shout out in our group, Pat McDowell. That was interesting how she helps people to manage their online social media presence and to expand it. Also had a lot of fun with, actually, we had just reconnected with Linda Kay, apparently not related to Richard Kay, who
Yeah.
was on my summit last time, and so we reconnected, and we were talking about how, in the grand scheme of things. By the way, shout out to Kitty again. I just saw her recently. This is my first time here, and
Great.
so I just wanted to say hello to everyone, and also how sometimes when you go out and you network, you don't know what you don't know. You don't know who's in the audience, so always bring your A game. I gave a practice speech at a Toastmasters meeting a couple of weeks ago. I got an cold email 2 days later. There's an event planner from Pfizer corporate headquarters said, "We loved your speech so much. We're going to hire you to give a 45-minute keynote up at Pfizer corporate headquarters in Manhattan, fully paid, and they bought 100 copies of my book." So I go, and so and I don't say that to brag. I say that to show that I grew up with a really bad speech impediment, and so and anybody who's been on my show knows me. Dr. Barnsley's been on my show. Kitty's been on my show. Who else was here? There was one other person that's been on my show as well. So, don't let anybody's negative impressions of you box you in. You can break out of the box that you're in anytime you want. It's your choice.
Hear, hear. Thank you so much for that inspirational message. And it's the truth. And so I'm going to add something, just a little spin off on that, Raja. Thank you. Thanks for sharing so intimately with our community and our guests, is that you don't have to do it alone. This Grand Connection community is here to support you. And that's the truth. Any member will tell you that we are here to support each other. And it's way more fun. So thanks, Raja. So let's move into our next piece, and it's called clarity. So in the clarity piece, what's really, really important, we have a fantastic resource for you that has all the grand clarity questions. So Susan's going to drop that into the chat right now. And you really need to decide your vision and goals for networking. You do. So before you come to a networking event, set a goal clearly to meet 2 people that you will follow up on that will lead to collaboration, partnership, you know, the process of building your referral network, because we absolutely need to be intentional and clear on what it is that we want to achieve by contributing our time, our money, and our energy. I see a lot of people networking and don't do anything after. You're just wasting your time, honestly, and your energy. Let's make this work, you know, and really be clear on your specifics of what you want to focus on to introduce yourself. Even if you have that pre-planned and written out, that's fine. But decide on your introduction. Have 5 or 6 different ways that you can introduce yourself, and choose which one you're kind of in the flavor and the mood for, right? And to add to the group. Do you want to talk a little bit about listings, Susan?
In
the
sure.
grand-
Sure.
Yeah.
I was going to just add to the clarity is think about when you're meeting somebody, when you first meet somebody, and you know, you understand who their audience is and what they do right away and how they serve their clients. And somewhere in there, you might gain some credibility in there. Oh, they've been working for 30 years in this space, or they've got their doctorate in this thing, and they really know what they're talking about. Whatever it is that gives them that credibility. So when you're thinking about how to introduce yourself, you got your short ones that you're using to spark an interest and be memorable and plan the one-on-ones. And then when you get to know each other in your one-on-one, be really clear and think through what you do and the value you offer so that you can explain what you do to somebody else. Because what you want them to be able to do is really understand what you're doing so they can think when they see somebody else that needs your problem that, oh, Barnsley should be the one that you need to call. Linda Kay, I know she does what you're looking for. So if you are clear about what you do and how you serve your clients, and make it clear on what other people can look for the people that they come into in contact with, that will make it easier for people to refer you.
Yeah.
And we did a great exercise, Carolyn, at the last member mingle on that too. So one of the things we do at the Grand Connection is we practice this at our member mingles, how to refer each other. And it gets us learning and experiencing that and getting to know each other better in the group too.
Absolutely. And it's very experiential, the member mingle. And
the listings related to this is we have an opportunity at the Grand Connection where you can put your marketplace listings up. And that will, members get to know each other, what they do, what events you offer, what book you have, what podcast you have, what course you have. All of this is in the marketplace, and it gets shared in our emails, in our Facebook group, on all of our channels. And that's another way that if you've got clarity around the things that you're offering in nice, succinct landing pages and a little offer and a banner, it helps all of us get to know you better too.
Well, and it also attracts your ideal clients. I mean,
Yes.
We're here to get more clients. Anybody else with me on that? Absolutely. Do you want to get more clients? Yes. So let's really show up in a way that can be meaningful, memorable, so people can remember you, know the value that you stand for. And I think through the listings and those Grand Connection members that don't have your book up there, that don't have your podcast interview up there, that don't have your speaking gig. See, Raja, you could put that in our listings and we would promote you on all social media channels when you're a member. How am I doing so far? When you're a member, not if, when. Okay, so we also have this very active and good size Facebook group, the Grand Connection Facebook group. So all the members here, you can put all those things in the Facebook group too. And
You're allowed to do 3 offers a week in the Facebook group. So share your stuff.
Yeah. And with our monthly themes that progress one after another, you saw that slide earlier. I want to let you know also that each of the groups, so the Grand Podcasters, the Grand Authors, Speakers, Coaches, Wellness, AI, and Marketers group, they all want, I got them all, didn't I? Good, yeah. They all want to have speakers come in and share their wisdom. So if there's an area of your expertise that would connect to that monthly theme, let us know, and we will have, you know, an opportunity for you to meet those leaders and see if there's an opportunity for you to speak, because speaking is an absolutely brilliant way for you to build that visibility and exposure to. So in the chat is the grand clarity questions. We took a long time putting those together, and I think they're brilliant, but it will really spark creativity for yourself to really get clear on what matters most in your business and promote it. So let's dive into our next breakout, Susan. Okay.
Welcome back.
Welcome back, everybody. So I am curious about, I'd like you to share just one person, someone who hasn't shared yet. Let's have a guest share. Cynthia, great. And then let's have a guest share too, in regards to someone that you met that you plan on following up with, that was a meaningful connection. You can see some of the power of possibility there as a next step. Cynthia, welcome.
Yes, hi. So Patrice Porter and I have met before and a couple of times, so we haven't really connected in a while. So it was really good to get an update of what we're doing, because we both work with families and in different ways. So I think for us to really, we need to connect more and see how we can support each other.
Absolutely agree. And collaborate on somebody's background. Collaborate on some, you know, initiatives, because both your audience is parents. So I think it's a great idea. Yeah, and get creative. Maybe sharing some collaboration marketing strategies. Fantastic. Thanks for sharing, Cynthia. Lynn, welcome.
Thank you. Yes, I'm a guest, and I had Sharon from Speak Inspire, and I'm going to get emotional because she told me what I know and needed to hear, that my value is not what's in my bank account, it's what's in my mind and in my heart.
Yes.
And I know that I have a quantum leap, that I'm just at the edge out, and she reflected that back at me, and we need that sometimes. So thank you.
Well, we need it all the time, to be honest with
Yes.
you, Lynn, and I really commend you for stepping up here and sharing that with all of us. Very courageous.
Authenticity is my superpower.
Ooh.
And I think that's why I'll be a good speaker, because I can have emotion and then I can move on from it. And we need to let the world know that it's okay to feel and it's okay to have passion, and it doesn't have to be in a box, you know?
Okay, that's for all of us. Did you get that message? Did it land? I hope everyone in this room received that, because that's the truth. And you don't have to do it alone. And the speakers group would love you. Isn't that right, Lana? Is Lana still here? I can't see her on my screen. Maybe she's off now, but yes, absolutely. So thank you for sharing. Fantastic. Greta V, welcome.
Okay, so I met two more people, because the last time you had two people, I'm going to connect two more people. And one of them is Monica, and she's Peruvian. But it's not because we have business together. It's because of my soul memories of Peru. I really want to connect with her.
See?
And Curvin, you went away before I said I want to connect with you. So Curvin, I would love to connect with you. So I just wanted you to know that.
Perfect. Thank you, Greta V. Marvelous. You know, it's what we have in common that connects us, people. That's the truth. It could be, you know, taking your Pilates instructor's course at 60 years old, which I did a number of years ago. You know, maybe it's that, or maybe it's a country that you love. Maybe it's, so I just love it. Thanks so much. Veronica, welcome. Feel free.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes. I've met in both sessions, I met some lovely ladies, and this session it was quite interesting because two of the people were health health specialists, I'm going to call them, and 2 of us were coaches. So we were able to sort of, have a discussion around what we did, and also consider connecting with each other, because it was, it was really interesting that we were, there were 4 of us, and we, we went right down the middle. We were split down the middle with what we do. So yes, that was really interesting.
Great. So for all those people that met interesting people, I'm going to tell you right now, if you do not take action right now, you will forget. Truth. So connect with those people in the chat here, the list of people inside the chat, find them, share your calendar link, whether it's Calendly, OnceHub, whatever you're using, and be open to meeting with them. Because that's how you build your network.
And as part of our process, I like to do, Carolyn, is I also connect with the person on LinkedIn right there. Usually you can actually, both of you connect and it won't be pending. And then you can make them a trusted connection in the referral app and put some notes in there.
Yep. And have that personal follow up too. Absolutely. So thank you for sharing, everybody. Okay, let's go to our 3rd step, Susan, which is build your network. Love it. So truthfully, having a strong network, anybody who is what I call an intentional, purposeful networker will tell you that this is the success of their business. No question. And for me, this has been my experience for the last 40 years of being an entrepreneur. So Susan, you have a couple of interesting stories about building your network to increase your net worth. Do you want to share a couple of those?
Yeah, Carolyn, thank you. Well, I just wanted to talk a little bit about the difference between a contact and a connection. We can have a lot of contacts. I mean, I have 100,000 people following me on Twitter, but I'm not connected to them in any big way. Some of them, there's a few that I've made connections, and you can go wide and you can go deep. Well, you really want to do both. You want to get as many connections as you can, and you want to find diverse connections, because that's where you find those interesting connections that you never know, like the butterfly effect, what's going to happen. So, and then you need to work on those deeper connections, because the people you know, like, and trust, and when they have clarity about what you offer, are going to become your long-term referral partners. I just was thinking today about an example, and there's a person that, Carolyn, you introduced me to, Mary Lou, about—
How many years ago is that? Just tell them really the truth.
20 maybe? 20?
No, it's more like 25, Susan, sorry.
25 years ago. Carolyn in our local market was a big MC person. She speaks well, she creates good energy. She was an MC at a very large event. And I bought a ticket at one of the tables she had, and she put me beside Mary Lou, and we became friends, and I connected with her over the years, just here and there, but we were connection. And then about 10 years ago, she shifted her business and needed a web developer, and as part of her branding organization. And we have done over, I would say, $200,000 worth of business together. So this is one contact. So you just don't know where it's going to go. And it's just so powerful. And the people you meet, we're going to be meeting lots of different people. The other thing is that you don't know who they know. And I have the next slide. I just wanted to mention a couple of principles, because I've been reading a bunch of cool books on networking lately. We've already talked about grand giving and the law of reciprocity. With reciprocity, you know that you don't know if you just keep on giving, something's going to be coming back to you at some point. But you're not about, I want it equal. If I give to you, you need to have it back. You just share your resources, be of service to other people, and things are going to start coming back. It just works. Right, everybody? And we know Bob Berg, the Go-Giver. We had him speak at our conference last year. We have the great talk from him in the Learning Library. I mean, he's just the truth he tells. The butterfly effect is also interesting, because, that's the story. It's a proverb, from a Chinese proverb, that, the butterfly affects the weather across the world, the little flutter of their wings. I've had some scientists refute this, but anyways, regardless, it's still a wonderful analogy for what can happen with what you do. The one little one thing you may do and it helps somebody one place, they may come back to you 2 or 3 years later and you're going to have some new business from that. You don't know where things will go. So you're always respectful and open to everybody you meet and curious because you don't know where it's going to go. Another thing to think about is we are working on social capital. Everybody's always thinking about how much money we can earn and how much we can invest and all we're going to save. Well, the relationships we have in the investments are what really is what life is about and your business is about for success. I was just in Winnipeg and I was seeing my cousin and he's very, very, very successful. And, you know, he just meets in this little Italian lunch place all the time and he's talking to people and he's got relationships all over the place. And he's been doing it for years and he is so good with people and he's been so successful and he's built those relationships over time. And you just see that he's got that social capital. If there's anything you need, you can ask him and he knows everybody. Another thing to think about is we don't want to be thinking about farming versus hunting. A hunter may get something immediately, but it's gone. And if the hunter is too aggressive, the animal's going to run away right away and be pushed away. When we're farming in networking, we're looking for relationships, we're growing it, and it's sustainable. And that's what we're trying to all of us build here at the Grand Connection and with your network. So I'm going to pass this back to you, Carolyn. And we're going to talk
Okay, well, you're doing the next piece, which is the Grand Strategic Power Teams. So that it's actually to you still.
Okay, so I'm not sharing my screen right now. Good. Okay.
Oh.
So we got to move in. We have these underlying principles of networking. We know that it's about building relationships. It's about building trust. You don't know who's going to know what, and just create that wide network with diverse people and go deep on the ones that are strategic for you. So I'm going to share now. We probably heard about Grand Strategic Power Teams, Power Partners. You've probably heard about them with LinkedIn and that. This is evolved from Terry Lee. She put this together when she was doing one of her talks on networking, and she's allowed us to share it with you. These are some example strategic power teams for referrals. And you can all think about who would be in your strategic power team. And what we've talked about in our booklet here in the workbook, and we've talked about this at some of our member mingles, is what we call the referral circle. This was an idea that Steve Gaston in Scotland, who many of you have met, he's also co-host of the Grand Speakers Group. He talked about this in one exercise at an event, and he says, draw a circle and put a line, you put a line across it, you in the middle, and think about the people you need to meet. And we're going to go into it a little bit deeper here today and talk about the sides of it that are who notices the problems that you can solve. That's what you kind of want to be looking for, because these are people who will be able to refer you business. So think about who is noticing these problems that you solve. For me in my marketing agency or my I do mostly websites. I get coaches like Carolyn. Carolyn always comes to me and says, I got a client that needs some help with their website, right? So for me, it's business consultants and coaches, marketing agencies. Some of my existing clients are going to notice things because they've worked with me. And if they come across somebody, they go, oh, I know Susan, she did my website. She's a good one. Your current clients are always great referral partners. But strategically, my current client isn't going to come across as many people as Carolyn will. So I want to strategically think and build the relationships with those people who are coming across the same, will reach the people who are my audience and will notice the problem. So the other side of the coin is I want to be a problem solver. So I think about what problems I notice in my business that I can refer people to. And I refer them to a lot of coaches because they come to me and they need a website and they're not very clear. And I got to go, you know what, let's stop here. You need to talk to so-and-so because she's going to help you get some clarity in your business. And I also send people off for lead generation all the time. I send them to different tech platforms when I notice the problems that they're having in their business. And what's been great about it is I become known as a problem solver. If I can help them solve that problem, they work with me, they're happy, I've created value. Even if I'm not always doing the work, I've helped them in some way, and they remember that.
Yeah,
And
I'm just going to invite people to take, can you go back?
Yeah,
Susan?
so this is for a service business like me, and I also did a coach one, so we can look at the
I just want anybody that's in the web or tech service to just really take a picture of this or take a slide share of this And that really wizard person that put that in the chat before, would you do it again, please? Because this is a really good slide. And then the next one is too, but I just want, wonderful. Thank you, Monica. You wizard, you. Thank you. Appreciate you. Thank you. Go ahead, Susan.
And this is Carolyn, you and I worked on this one before. This is for our coaches. So take a picture of that, coaches. I know we got lots of coaches here too, to give yourself ideas.
Yeah.
And you know, it's creative. A lot of people tell me they get great referrals from their hairdresser, right? The hairdresser's talking to everybody. Sometimes they're just a phenomenal source of referrals.
Well,
And start thinking, who is that power circle that's going to be bringing you referrals? So this is for referrals. And we also did in the referral wheel, Val Lowe, Grand Connection member, did her map it process with us. This is in the video library on how to do your referral wheel. And the things you need to do to plan and think about this is think through who your ideal client is, what problems you solve, what people need to listen for. So this is, we talk a lot about this in our member mingle. What do you need to listen for to be able to refer me, right? So for me with my web design, if you hear somebody saying, oh, I got an ugly website, I'm embarrassed to use my website. Here, don't go to my website, go to my LinkedIn profile. Susan can help you with your website, right? So think about what those things are that people can listen for. And when you've got your strategic power partners, let them know. If you hear somebody that tells me they're rebranding, let me know. I really help you with the branding process and will make your brand shine on your website. And then you want to think about your shared values because these are people you want to work with, right? And then what problems do you notice? So you start thinking through your problems you notice. Oh, I need to have those people in my team too. Now, somebody who notices the problem you solve and you notice the problem and you notice problems for them is a really great referral partner because they can go back and forth, like Carolyn and I. And, you know, we are such good referral partners that we started a business together and we worked together and it grew through trust. And we decided, you know what, we can start a Grand Connection together and it's been fabulous. And then think about what tools you need to support you, like our referral app. That referral app is a fabulous way to make connections and for people. And people who are part of my strategic team, I'm sending them introductions all the time through that. And they're thanking me because I'm helping them with their business. So it's an easy way for me to be able to provide value in a way that's quick and efficient for everybody. So that's a great tool for you. So you got in the workbook, you have a blank wheel, you can play around with yourself. And here is the collaboration wheel. And this is same thing, it's a wheel. We're looking at the same thing, but instead we're thinking about who reaches the same audience as me. So this is where we do so much of the Grand Connection. People who are reaching, and a lot of us are all reaching the same audience, right? We're all reaching the audience, and we can do things together by interviewing each other on our podcasts or our shows. We can write a book together. We can write articles together. We can share each other's social media posts. We can do shared articles in each other's newsletters. There's so many things you could do. We could do a summit together. We could run a workshop together. So this is what we're also looking for. We're looking for the strategic partners that can become referral partners for bringing you clients. And we're looking for the strategic partners for collaboration that can bring us help us reach our ideal client through their audiences. And, you know, it's just exciting. And once this is all going and you're strategic about this and it's all in place, that you're reaching new people, your list is building, and you're getting clients all the time. And it just works. And by far, networking and building your network of trusted referral partners and collaborative partners is the lowest cost of marketing that exists for us. It is so much better than paying for ads. I don't know who's done Google AdWords lately. I have clients that have been paying thousands of dollars and it rarely works. You know, and they change the algorithm and you get nothing and you've just spent $2,000, you notice, and nothing has happened. One good referral partner where you get to reach your audience, you could make $100,000. And we've got members in this community that are doing that. So I'm going to pass this back to you, Carolyn, because it's just so exciting. If there's any questions about this, we're happy to answer them.
Yeah, and the truth is, you know, this is where intentional networking comes in. because you have to prepare and plan and set the intentions on what it is that you want to receive from networking and what it is that you want to give at networking, because that's how the circle of energy works. And like Susan said, it's reciprocity. I mean, we have people in our community that have introduced us to world-renowned speakers who have come on to our events, shared their wisdom, their books as authors, as speakers, that charge $50,000 an hour to speak at big conferences. And they've come to share with us. So I just have to tell you that I really know that when you can build your strong collaboration team, it makes a huge difference. So we got, what time? We're going till 2, right, Susan?
Yeah, it's almost, yeah. So I just
No.
texted you.
Action plan. So what I'm going to recommend for everybody to do as a follow-up here, I want you to think about this question. So Susan, just put the one question: what support, connections, and resources do you need to build your network? I'll put it in the chat.
I'll find it.
Okay, thanks. It's in the notes. So what support, connections, and resources do you need to build your network? You gotta know the answer to that question. And then when you know the answer to that question, you can have the intention of meeting, connecting through your existing network to make that happen. So the last piece here is taking intentional action. And Nadine Hanchar, one of our incredible community members, talks a lot about this in her training and her online community, focusing on heart consciousness. And I love it. And the truth is, we have to set that intention to take action. We really hope and pray and hold the space for every one of you to be successful, create amazing abundance, both in fulfillment in your business as well as financially. It takes that strategic preparation, planning, and purpose to do that. So your follow-up after this event is critical to create those collaborations that you desire and to serve first. Be curious, be open-minded, and follow through with those connections. And the last piece on this that I want to share is, this is big for me, this is number 6, is to celebrate. It's wonderful when you have your strategic partners and you've just landed a huge contract that you are so excited about, or you have just been on this podcast that you just spoke so much truth that you just thought it's going to change people's lives all over the world. You have to celebrate those moments, you know, and they get to share that with you.
And share it in the Facebook group and tag me on LinkedIn, and I will share it on our pages too.
Yeah.
We get so excited with everyone's success.
Well, we do. And I love seeing the successes too. I mean, I just love it. So we have a last little gift for you at the end here too, and it's called the Grand Accountability Framework. We absolutely need to step up, and that is you. If you want to be successful, networking is your most, I think, greatest opportunity to really change the trajectory of your business. And it costs you basically nothing. What's $39.99 a month to be in our community? It's nothing. It's a coffee practically now. It's not even a lunch anymore, right? And to meet fabulous people who will guide you and support you, it's about the people. And also you have an opportunity with this framework, with this link, that you'll realize that, you know, it's about mindset. It's about choosing that vision and goals. And it's about following through with what you say you're going to do. And learn to trust yourself more. So we really invite you to be a part of our community. All the guests here, once again, you need to make the decision in 2 hours to get the second month free. and also receive all the bonuses too. And just decide if it's from your heart to support our charity in Uganda as well. So here's our September events. They're going to be absolutely incredible too. So Susan just brought those up. You can see all those amazing people that are stepping up as leaders within our community to run these groups and to share their wisdom. And lastly, I want to thank everybody for your time in being here. And Susan and I both appreciate your contributions in the breakout rooms.